Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is it, 11th of March. This is Miguel on the radio. I'm Miguel, your host. We are at EMI Radio, excited, happy, because I'm not alone. I have a very, very special guest. She's Natalie Zonenshine. Is a sunshine. She is a performer artist here in Warsaw. But this is an understatement. She's much more than that. She studied ballet in Germany, in Hamburg, and she has a lot of experience with classic ballet. Her performers go from classic ballet to burlesque to very unusual, very challenging the status quo, religion, race, everything that you think about that Poland is conservative. She challenges that. And she's moving everything forward, the needle forward. I'm very happy to have here with me Natalie Zonenshine.
Hi, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, actually, already.
Fantastic, Natalie. Natalie, please tell us, because I see you as an artist that rebels, that challenges the status quo, that moves forward with everything you think that it's the limit of what a person can do, what an artist can do. And I know that you study ballet, which is one of the most strictest, hardest shapes of art, that you should follow the rules. As a young student, did you break the rules?
Obviously. I mean, I think I'm a born rebel. I'm this kind of riot person that, wherever... I'm autistic. Oh, that's the very important, fact about me, which makes me break all the rules because when I enter any place, environment, and so on, it's not I don't understand the social rules behind the behaviors. I do perfectly, and all the psychological mechanisms, like coping mechanisms and defense mechanisms, I see it clearly, like from the start. And I just don't agree with most. Like this should, you should, this word, you should, like what should I do? Like should I what? Not tell when it smells like shit, when it smells like shit. It's this autistic kind of, breaking the rules. It's actually not breaking the rules. It's actually speaking truth. It's actually not being this kind of, okay, yes, I will follow your rules because I should be a good girl. Well, there's this perfume sense, like Good Girl Gone Bad by Killian. Yeah, that's me. So I used to be this person that I was really being a good girl because as an autistic girl, I was doing better than neurotypicals. I was observing and I was seeing this behavior is acceptable. Oh, so let's do it the best we can. And when autistic people do something, they go 1,000%. There is no 50, there is no such a thing. But so I was doing 1,000%. So I was such a good girl. I was even at the age of at the age of 2.5, I decided I'm going to be a ballerina. At the age of around 4.5, I started trainings, etc., etc. So even at the age of, already 7, I was cleaning house and cooking and baking and so on. I was this good girl. It comes also from the place of the violence that I saw that if you're good, perfect, they cannot hit you. They cannot scream at you because you're perfect. So it was the defense mechanism altogether with the autism. But this is what autistic girls do as a defense mechanism. They become perfect. So when I entered, ballet world, I quickly, because first time when I did the exam, I didn't pass it because they told me I'm too massive. Now you should laugh looking at me. I was too fat. I was never too fat. I was just like not as skinny kid as the others. I was like athletic. And so they said like I'm too massive. But yeah, the joke on them, right? And after 1 year and a half, I did like re-exam, and then I got in, but I was like late, so I needed to catch up. So I was like really it was very intense time of like 3 months to catch up 1 year and a half program. But then I got like the best mark at the exam because I quickly saw, like I was like observing, this is acceptable, so I need to do better than that. This is like this girl is the best, yeah, so I need to do better than her. Why is she the best? Oh, they say she's so skinny and nice. Okay, I have to be skinnier than her. Okay, so I was like collecting information subconsciously. Now I can like think of why I did those things, but back then it was like just subconsciously. And then I became this skinniest and the best person, the best perfect example of how a young adept of ballet should be looking like. It didn't matter that I was barely standing on my legs. I was so skinny at some point. I made my point. I was the best. I was like doing all the competitions and everything. Yeah, and I was like this future of the Polish ballet. And I even, just 2 girls in the Polish ballet history made this. It was Katarzyna Gdaniec in 75, I think, and then later on me in 99. We got into the finals of the most prestigious ballet competitions, Prix de Lausanne, and we won some scholarships, so we were like the winners, and nobody after me did that anymore. So it was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, the best. And then I got into like Hamburg ballet school, then quickly started dancing with a company, and I was all the time the good girl. But also at the same time, I wasn't. And I think that this is what people felt from me like all the time, that there is something off, that I'm this like very polite, like opening the door and so on, but not like in sarcastic way. Like I was really doing it. But at the same time, it's this autistic thought, like, why the fuck do I need to bow in front of her? Why the fuck do I need to open the door? Why the fuck? What are these fucking rules? So the rebellion started happening, like really. In a ballet school, I would say half. I was still following because I was like 13, 14. But already back then, when I didn't like something, I was like, why do I have to do it? No, explain yourself. Why do I have to do it? Like, I'm really asking you, why should I lift my leg higher than this or this or this? What stands behind your correction? And there was like, nothing. Or this famous Polish, because what? And I was like stopping training in the middle of the, like exercise. And I was like, yeah, if you want me to do something, you should want me to do something better for a reason. And if you don't know why, then shut the hell up. So I was this kind of, 13-year-old girl standing in the middle of the room, ballet studio, talking to a teacher like that who I didn't like because she or he wasn't making the point. And I was like, yeah, you go to the director and I explain yourself. And I was like saying like, gladly. So, but it was still half. But then in Hamburg, I got a little bit like humble, different country. I was thinking like, they gave me scholarships, so I have to be a really good girl. They have like hopes connected with me, so I have to be this good girl if I want to dance there and so on. But I was like doing the best, and I was the best. And they were like, ever since I was like back then 16 years old, I was dancing with a company. obviously everyone around, as usually, hated me because I was the one who was chosen in school, and in company I was the one who's chosen and the youngest, and like John Neumeier back then loved me, and I was this new thing that is a weirdo, because I was a weirdo comparing to others. I was like this little fanatic, not really talking to anyone, not because I didn't like them, it's because small talk is not the thing for autistic people. And soon, quickly in Hamburg, I needed like this ballet world, so limited, like this, and that, and not this, and that, and you have to follow rules. Oh my God, following rules for autistic people. Either we like it for a while, I think it was like a kinky thing to follow the rules. Okay, yes, I'll obey. Yeah, but this role play ended quickly. I was like, what I'm getting out of this, like following the rules. I don't even like the people around me. They're mean. They're like dishonest, not transparent, and they're talking behind my back and so on. Like, what am I doing here, So I quickly started going in places in Hamburg, different places, exploring the world of the 90s and early 2000s in Hamburg. That was something. And this is where I believe this combination of being rebellious, not rebellious teenager, rebellious autistic kid, entering the ballet world of strict rules, disobeying, but at the same time obeying, and then trying to find something else and always going like 1000% in something. And then I started exploring back then I was like, I'm laughing about it, but I was like really saint. I was like such a saint. I was like angelic looking, an angelic person, but something like drawn me into this world of like really kinky clubs. Maybe it's also because I knew like suddenly there's this international boarding school with my two fantastic gay friends from one, America, Australia. They had no limits. They were the ones like breaking me into it. And this is also when I definitely stopped being a good girl.
Oh wow! All right. So yes, you mentioned being the finalist in one of the biggest ballet competitions in the world, in Lausanne, and also you won many competitions in the national level in Poland. And then you got the scholarship and you worked with John Neumeier. What lessons from those days, from being in that ballet school, from living that life that you still use today?
That's such a complicated question. Thank you. Not many people can ask like interesting questions. Thank you for that. I really appreciate. And I'm trying to think in between of talking right now. In general, ballet world gives you discipline because, and it's very important because when you're missing motivation, and you can wake up months in a row and not feeling motivated to do something. But when you have something like discipline in you, it doesn't matter. You just get up and do things. Small steps, and it's always like this kind of, for me, also Bruce Lee kind of philosophy. One step a day towards your goal. One small step, that's it. And that's the discipline that people in like, I believe in ballet, in sports, they have. But in ballet, because you start at such an early age, it just grows into your, every fiber of your body. I cannot be different. I don't know different. I don't want to be different. I choose this every day to be disciplined, And so this I remember perfectly. What I remember also, and like lessons you asked from the Hamburg. If like maybe it's not a lesson for me, but if you want to achieve something in the particular, area in life, you really need to focus. You need to dedicate yourself entirely. And there is no 50%. If you're not there 100%, then don't ask then later on why you're not dancing the main role, why you're not the best, why people don't choose you, why people don't necessarily look at you. And it's brutal, but that's how it is. And to be honest, it's everywhere. Every single area of life, if you don't give your 100%, not like every day, it's impossible, but in general, then you're not there. You're just not there. So it's not only about the ballet, it's also about burlesque. It's about, writing books, doing the movie, being a lawyer, studying medicine. It's about everything, So that's also very important. And that's, I guess, what in ballet I failed at. Failed, but you better believe in what you do. If you don't believe, quit. Just go look for something else, really, because then no discipline, no motivation, no goals and so on will make you wake up and be happy. And you have to be happy to do what, even if it brings you this kind of, sadistic happiness, that you don't really like it, but you enjoy being the best and so on. So this brings you happiness. This feeling brings you happiness. So you better really believe in what you do, or really want to really be hungry with for the success, because this gives you the maybe not necessarily always a good drive, but a drive to get up and do this and see some kind of purpose in it.
That's fascinating to me, Natalie. So I think about it. So in this world today of instant gratification, of comfort, of just pleasure, people don't they want the results, but they don't want to work towards it. And ballet being so strict, and your art just expanding to so many different branches. A lot of people quit ballet because of the pressure. What made you stick to it?
Oh my God, I hate you and love you at the same time for the questions. So yeah, at start, why I even started ballet, it's during the therapy I figured this out. So my house was pathological, violent house, full of screams and ugliness. Coming from the, rotten soul, broken minds, which I'm very sad about till nowadays, sad for what my parents, what my grandparents, my grand-grandparents went through in their houses, and also appreciated because I could break out. Somehow I broke the circle of violence. I was this black sheep, so in a good way. So I think that when I was a little kid and was so much violence at home, and there in TV, national TV, they used to play a lot of ballet, and I believe that I saw it, and it was so pure. magical, and so different from ugliness around me. And this was my escape. I escaped. So if I found something, it was probably coping mechanisms. So I saw that how they treat my sister for questioning, for not obeying, for being angry at them as a kid, So what do I do as a kid? Subconsciously go totally other way. I mean, I became this perfect girl doing ballet. And also it's like this, they were like lawyers, engineers, journalists, and so on. And if I went the same direction, they would have power over me. They would always know better. This is how they were, like, me and my 30 years of experience. You think you know something, and I chose something they would never be even in 1 nanopercent good at, I think it went like this, but it was so pure and beautiful. And I didn't speak until I was, I don't know, 8, 9, full sentences. It was just, like this autistic kid saying like, dada, or baba, like 2 words, to the point. But I was like, I had no need to speak. And I was dancing. I was like expressing myself through like gestures and mimics and like, and then quickly, because one thing which was good at in my family, that was like my mom loved music. So she was playing different kinds of music. So I was like, the dancing. And so, yeah, the ballet, because back then it was ballet school, it was the only place. There wasn't like private schools, right, like nowadays, to learn any kind of dance. There was only ballet school. So that was a natural way to go to a ballet school. I didn't know that they don't teach dance or art, that they are like more violent than even at home. I didn't know about this brutal violence, and the rules and everything. I just wanted to dance. I just wanted this beauty of like expressing myself. But it's this kind of protection that ballet gave me. I think it was self-defense mechanism, and also the aesthetics. It's very beautiful. When you look at it, I mean, come on. It's the lines, the pointed feet, the fingers, how the neck moves. It's just like this beauty. But you don't know it's coming from violence towards yourself, your body, and violence when it comes to how it's explained. I mean, it's not really explained. It just violently, brutally forced onto you. Like, do it. But why? Just do it, Like this throwing the chairs, burning legs, all these kind of things that people think, was happening. It was brutal. Never towards me, but also ignorance is a form of violence. So also on me, just because I wasn't being named fat cow, just because I wasn't thrown the chair at, just because I wasn't like, my legs were not burned, I wasn't hit. I was observing that. And also my anorexia at some point was ignored, so these are the forms of violence. But I still stick to that because of the back then benefits. I was untouchable. And even in the world of ballet, I was more dedicated, more perfect than anybody around. So they couldn't touch me as well. They could say like, I'm a weirdo, I'm this, I'm that, but I was the best. One of the best. I mean, it's not like the best of the best, but I was among the best. So yeah, that was a good defense mechanism. Yeah.
It's very interesting. So the concept that the ballet dancers, they train like Olympic athletes. It's a very strict regime of
No,
training.
we train more, better, and worse. Yeah.
Yeah, and so having ballet as the core foundation of you as an artist, and then branching to different areas. How was the turning point or the beginning of you becoming a perform artist with burlesque?
Okay, yeah, another great question. So as I said, like all this, like becoming a real rebel started in Hamburg, and there was this club, Valentino, and it was full of drag queens and drag kings, and I was their beloved, lovely star. You know, whenever I was like coming in, because I was like this, just like nowadays I am, and when I don't speak, people love me for my looks. You know, like this blonde, tiny ballerina looking, this like, oh, or like this nowadays also like a little bit like with the, you know, like edgy. Yeah, but I was always that. And they loved me. So they adopted me as their like beautiful kid. You know, I was going there with my gay friends, and we used to have so much fun. And I saw this different kinds of, you know, expression, which was like, wow, you can be more. I mean, ballet is extreme, and so I'm used to extreme forms, right? And that was another extreme form. And I didn't know about the existence of burlesque until I was 20 something. I saw it first in London. And already back then I was like, yeah, I love this, like changing from one thing to another thing. But I was like, something is missing. Something is missing in it. And I was thinking I will be this futuristic burlesque thingy, you know. Already back then it was like innovative idea. I didn't know in 21st century, in 2026, I will be still innovative and still like trying to be the one. People try to put me down. But then, you know, like I will talk about this later. Then because I was like in search all the time, like kinky clubs, like drag kings, drag queens, this and that, you know, I was like hungry for expression, for something to like feed my thoughts, my different language of my body, you know. I didn't know it doesn't exist, this language, that I will be creating it. Right? But I was feeding myself, you know, and I was looking for ways and for different forms of expression. And including even calligraphy. Yeah, I was like reaching out to like the most extreme cultures where you need a discipline, when you need some skills, like real skills to actually do it, because I didn't want to be just everybody. And then when I was already, I think so, I was already in Polish National Ballet. I must have been 25 or 6. And there was this casting for Le Crazy Horse in Paris. And I was already having first experiences with posing naked experiences, which for ballerina back then in Poland, I mean, good luck with that. You know, I was at the same time proud and ashamed, you know, this shame, which is still nowadays in the society towards especially women. But I was proud and ashamed. And And when I saw this casting, and I already like checked out, I knew that this exists, and it was like, naked girls on stage dancing beautifully in these colorful wigs. And I was like, I want it. Yeah. And then I passed, because they did castings in the different parts of Europe. And I won Polish casting, then I won Eastern European casting with the 2 other girls. And then we were invited to Paris. And then I saw it live, because back then I only saw it in internet. And I saw it live. I saw Dita Fontees, I was with them behind stage because they needed to like show how they work. I was at the rehearsals. And I was always this kind of person, that's very easy for me. I mean, you just lift your leg 90 degrees. How can you not get that? So I wasn't concentrating. I didn't need to concentrate on, the height of the leg. Please, like really, I'm ballerina. Come on. So I could concentrate on more interesting things backstage. How the theater is done, how lighting is done, how many people come to see this, how the tables are like spread around what's the system, so that was, I was interested in. And for me, that experience and seeing that, I was still not ready to do it. I was fully dedicated ballerina, just becoming a soloist. I was just like becoming Tatiana in Onyegin, and then Anna Karenina in Anna Karenina, like I was like still fully dedicated, but that led to, it was a seed that grew in me. You need seeds like this, the inception in your mind, in order for it to later on grow or not, or die, whatever. But in me it grew because I was kept on feeding it with something, like when I was 26 as a soloist of Polish National Ballet, I became a stripper in a nightclub for gentlemen because pole dancing back then so forbidden. Oh yeah. And I saw when I went to Malta for my summer vacation trip, exploring kind of thing. And I was looking for some job before. That's how I got to Malta. And I found this. First, I went to Porto. And it was supposed to be like, every night show. But then it was like a simple, not a strip club, but club for gentlemen, where they dance with ladies in a very erotic way. And I was like, oh my God, where the fuck am I? Like, okay, that's okay, the eroticism, but I'm not even dancing. Like, it was supposed to be ballet shows and everything, and it's like just a scam. So I quickly went to Malta because it was like the second offer I got, but it was a regular strip club with pole dancing. But then I said, like, I already had my first like naked art kind of experiences, this kind of experience in Porto. And then I said like, whatever, let's do this. Let's be this brave girl. Let's do it, And then that was also a turning point. I saw this amazing gymnast that worked there, and she was just like me. She was coming earlier, warming up, exercising on the pole, doing these amazing things. And I was thinking like, I can do that. I mean, I'm a ballerina. And I added point shoes. They were looking at me there, like, because she was more like a strip kind of girl looking, long blonde hair, like, and I was like this white skinny thingy. And I added point shoes in a strip club. They were like, what the fuck is this? But they were fascinated, right? But then I I became in love with this kind of pole dancing and the moves that have been created in me, you know. So I was like collecting experiences, you know. And then, I quit ballet, like professional ballet world, like being in a company in 2010, 11, something like that, after my mom died, that I didn't feel like I need to do it for anyone anymore. Because she used to say like, oh, I love you. I love watching you on the stage. And it was this kind of toxic relationship between me and my mom. And I mean, she was this lovely monster, like every alcoholic, narcissistic, abusive person is, lovely monster. So she had her amazing vulnerability in her. Well, that's how she got broke and she started drinking, because she was very emotional, and this emotionality and vulnerability wasn't fed in any way. So that's how you kill it, and you don't want to feel all these emotions, and you start drinking, right? So this is what happened to her. But alcohol does the thing, right? And you become aggressive monster with no limits in your aggressive behavior. This is how it happens. So I can't even like blame her, but I do. It's this mixture of feelings. But this is like when she died, well, finally I could be free. Yeah. And it didn't matter that still my father was alive and there was my sister around who are like, but they had no power over me. Like, they couldn't stop me. So I started, after my mom died, I started really expanding with the pole dance and the stripper, being a stripper and so on. It took me still a long time to get to burlesque, you know, because I had my burlesque debut in 2018. I didn't even know about the existence of the burlesque in Poland. I started to know of like in 2017, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I saw it in London when I was like a 20-something-year-old. Well, maybe that's another. So I started asking people around. And back then there was this person who was hosting the shows in Worek Kości. It was Sylwester Biraga. He's a director of theater Second Zone, Druga Strefa in Warsaw. And he used to be very involved in the burlesque. And it was funny because I didn't reach out to him in a burlesque way. It was my friend photographer who knew him, and my friend photographer organized a exhibition, art photo, in Sylwester's theater. And I said like, oh, that's great, because so many photos were of me as we collaborate all the time. And I said like, let me do some like performance, because I was also long time into a performative art, like this kind of, I don't know how to call it, if you were aware of what's performative art, like Marina Abramovic kind of thing, you know, but connected with the dance and the music and so on. That I started doing in 2011 with this famous painter, Jacques Gassman, in Germany and in Poland, but mostly in Germany, but also in Italy. We were like the thing, you know, the duet of the painter and the ballerina. And we were doing this kind of thing. So I wanted to do something on my own, and I was already exploring what's like inside of me psychologically. And I came with this love performance. It literally, love was the name, you know. And that was my first confrontation with Sylwester. I cannot say meeting, because we confronted each other. Like it was like a thunderstorm, because he thought of me, I'm such a diva. This is what he told me later on. And, he couldn't be more like mistaken. I was just very focused on what I want to do and to be professional in it. I even swap the graveyard to do stage, myself. I did it myself. I didn't ask for any help and so on. He was just like looking at me like, again, like this weirdo. She comes in and I didn't know who he is. I didn't know he's a director. I just asked somebody, that somebody was him, for a space in the theater because I came here to do the show, la la la. It was so funny. But then later on, during the conversations, oh my God, that's you from the burlesque. And I started like this with the burlesque. I tried to be as educated as possible what burlesque is, but it was impossible because people didn't want you to know. They kept their knowledge to themselves, like, oh my God, she will come and do burlesque and a ballerina will do burlesque, then we will be like, what? What? I don't know, threatened or what? And this is what I felt once I entered the burlesque world. Again, I was, as everywhere, I was this weirdo. Because I was the first, and I was the first ballerina to enter the burlesque world. There was this girl before me, she was like my student in a ballet center I run before, and she started doing burlesque, but not being a, ballerina. She was just a ballet student. But I was this, professional ballerina entering the burlesque world. Yeah, I saw their faces. Yeah.
Natalie, I see this pattern. I see this sparkle. So you have these epiphanies. You have this things that you touch with, you resonate with, and you look for mastering it. And you for ballet to burlesque, you inform yourself, you study, and you push it forward. So I want to know from Poland, that is considered a conservative country. It's almost like a sexual revolution. How do you see Poland changing since you started to now?
Okay, so true. And about the conservative and about shaming, yes, all the time. I used to even shame myself, this kind of shame, pride, this kind of thing that autistically I knew I'm right, but the society, the comments. So in 2009, in 2007, I was in Malta and I saw this pole dancing possibilities and so on. In 2008, I started to be more interested in pole dancing, but it was, a strippers thing, go-go clubs, that's it. But then in 2009, I decided to go to the strip club and to ask the owners, can I train there? Because there was no schools. And in 2009, later on, because this evolved into collaboration, and I did night show theater with a ballet and opera singing inside of the nightclub. I wanted to do expanded Look Crazy Horse, with this amazing idea behind it. And I did it for a while, even the directors of some theaters came to see the show. But and then I started a school, pole dancing school. But it was already when that's when I still didn't quit ballet. Oh my God, the comments. I mean, I was named a ballet whore, bitch, slut. Yeah, just, the regular, I guess. Nothing extraordinary, but shaming. I was the first to be with pole dancing in Poland Got Talent with my group. I was the president of the Pole Dance Sports Association, and I did the first official under the Polish Dance Sport Union championships. I mean, we were standing up and singing like Polish hymn in the beginning of the championships. That was something. And I was the one. Till now, they in pole dance world, they know who am I, and this is how it started. Then, for me, after this experience, I think after this kind of level of shame, and I knew that there is nothing shameful. I knew they're wrong, and look, so many years later, pole dancing is already such a normal and boring thing, Yeah, because I was right. It is. It's a simple thing. It's just like an exercises. If you think that this is something wrong, I have always 4 words for people like this. And it goes like this: psychiatrist, medications, psychologist, therapy, honey. Okay, with the honey, it's 5 words. So whenever somebody's shaming somebody for anything, go and heal yourself, I don't pity you, no. I'm really concerned about your mental health when you have a need to shame somebody. When you are so limited that in this world you have nothing better to do than shame others. Others can literally, if they want to, do whatever they want. Now, I'm not going to name things. It doesn't matter. Whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm.
Until they don't hurt anybody on purpose. Because, even my voice can be hurting to somebody. That's not my problem. But if I don't intentionally do anything to hurt anyone, right? Then what? How can you shame somebody? But with this kind of shame, any kind of shame, and shaming, and trying to shame, I deal with every day. But after doing so many things, that I needed to fight with my own shame, self-shame, even adult content kind of things, which I still love and I think they should exist and it's important. And this kind of saying oh, you can get yourself addicted from pornography or something. I mean, you can get addicted to anything. Everything is for human beings, just you need to know when to stop, and it's not the drugs or the alcohol or the pornography or anything else that it's a problem. The problem is what happens in a human being before it gets addicted. I mean, not everybody gets addicted, right? So the problem is somewhere else. The problem is broken mind, broken heart, So if people would go to therapy just like me, I'm after so many years of therapy and self-therapy and every day working on myself and really taking seriously every comment and trying to analyze it, I'm very self-reflecting person from childhood, all the time analyzing. And I'm analyzing also when somebody tries to shame me. So I'm analyzing, is this person right? Did I do something wrong? Why this person could have thought this? Can I change myself? Should I change myself? La la la, and so on and so on. These kind of things resonate in me all the time. But every time I win the argument because I have this debate inside of me. And there is this, all the shames and everything, and me against it. Not in an angry way, just in a logical way. I win every time. So after all these things that I've done, I go like, oh, really, honey? Oh, wow. Oh, that I didn't think about, which is like really a joke because I think I'm thinking about so many things every day. So like when somebody tries to shame me thinking that I didn't think about something like that, or I didn't try to shame myself in this way, I'm the worst enemy I can have, you know? So like really shaming somebody? That's really funny. But yeah, maybe it is, I don't know, a sexual rebellion. I don't know. I'm fed up with not people not talking about sex, not talking about their kinks, and like hiding behind like nicknames in some like portals, and like being afraid to like, even now I'm doing this new project, like a fetish project, and people in fetish like world environment on a fetish portals, they're like afraid to come out and like even like share the Facebook with a person that is just like them and just wants to do like a artistic photo session, video art clip project, you know, because they are being shamed, because society shames. I do this project around the world, Fetish in the City. It's only about the fetish wear, where I dress like I'm dressed right now, but like, for example, with some harnesses or like kinky shoes, you know, like the latex boots, or like some mask, or more like kind of naked, just in harness, but always, you know, like what it needs to be covered in the city is covered, right? And you know, I collect the reactions around the cities around the world, and it's amazing what's happening in Poland, like in a bad way. So in Finland, when I go dressed up like this, people look at me, and they go. Maybe somebody smiled, maybe somebody wants to have a photo with me even, but they just, you know, like, okay, yeah, good for you. I have my own things to do. This is the reactions I get, you know, and it's all on the photos, or I make a video about it, you know. In Germany is more like, because they have very unisex style every day, you know. So they look and they go like, or like, or like, wow. But they would never say anything bad to me, you know? I'm more of a wow, you know, like, oh yeah, nice, good for you, you know? Or like this famous, sehr schön, sehr schön. In Italy, it's like, wow, bella ragazza, bella donna, Madonna, you know? Some tourists, yeah, but even Polish people in Italy, they behave differently. You know, they say like, oh, wow, you know? And that's amazing. In Japanese tourists, always like photos with me, like all the time. And in Poland, suck my dick. Beat me up, Domina. Oh, you make me wet. You fucking slut, you fucking whore. Why the fuck are you wearing it? Of course, there are also positive reactions, like mature women resonate with me a lot. They want to have like photos with me. They say like, good girl, but they would never wear it. They see a power and they understand the power behind it. Oh, they feel it. And teenagers as well. Oh my God, the girls. Because boys and men, they behave disgustingly. But women and girls, they feel it. But they still don't have courage to do it. But once they see it, either they really shame it, but I think it's coming from the place of lack of the courage of doing it by themselves, or they just cheer and root for me because they would want to do it, but they're not in the place of doing it yet.
That's very interesting. And as a performing artist, so you are dealing with people who are on stage and you have a crowd. How do you deal with this super polite, shy, or sometimes very unpolite crowd as a performing artist?
During the show?
During the shows, yeah.
I mean, I don't have a polite audience. I have a very naughty audience. Oh, people know me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not crossing any boundaries, or it's always like consensual, mutual consent. I would never do anything without the consent, you know? But they know, like there will be a lot of fucks going around, you know, like, I mean, like my language is like this kind of, I mean, it's on purposely like that, but it's about like ass and fuck and this and that, but within the jokes and not like too much. It's like very controlled. Like, for example, yes, sit your lovely sweet asses and enjoy the show. But in Polish, it sounds better. Yeah. Or, for example, like somebody's like I'm asking some question, and then, you know, like somebody from the audience answers, and I'm like, and who the fuck you think you are? Like talking without the permission. But it just, yeah, you see, you're laughing. But, you know, from time to time, there are people who, I don't know why they came to my show then. You know, like, what did they think? They have no self-distance, no distance. I never joke, like, from anyone, from anybody's features, like physics and so on. It just, you know, like this kind of, you can get like, yeah, sit the fuck down, you know. But it's like everybody's laughing, and it's like this kind of consensual, you know. I warn in descriptions of the show that the language can be used like this, la la la, but it's all like joke. You can always leave if you don't like it. Exactly. You can always leave. Don't stay if you don't like it, and don't shame it. If it's not your cup of tea, just leave and choose something else, and that's your privilege. So I don't have this kind of problem. Sometimes, like, sometimes there are people who, I don't know why they found themselves there and why they didn't leave then, you know, like, why you stay and watch the show? You're free to leave. And, you know, like some people have this kind of assertive, but in Poland, they are not like, they're mean, assertive mean. It's like they will like, you know, they will walk out of the show. You know, me, when I don't like the movie in the cinema, you know, or even the opera, I leave in a way that it's, you know, quiet and polite. I wait for the break or for the moment that, you know, like go, and, you know, I just go and I just say like, not my cup of tea. And I don't shame things because other people might like it and so on. That's fine. But I had this one situation, like there was this guy who was invited by friends to a show, and he was like really grumpy, you know, and I was like trying to cheer him up and joking towards him and so on. And later on, he wrote like this review that my jokes were like, you know, like this poor jokes and like this, you know, like, why didn't you leave? You stayed until the end. I saw you. If you didn't like it, why? And it's just happening in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me.
Mm-hmm.
I perform Paris, Berlin, Rome, Pisa, Florence, in Italy a lot. I won't name right now every city in Italy, but I perform around, and it's not really happening around the world. It's just Poland. We're so mean. We're so shaming. We're so negative, you know? And even people who are in this environment, this performers and like audience less, you know, but even the performance can shame other performers for like, I had this situation, for example. It was my show. I organized it. And I invited 2 other performers. And I started introducing one. And for me, I call myself creature. And I write this book, Belle Créature. For me, it's this kind of creature. It means existence, being, a creative something. I understand that in different contexts, you can call somebody, but when you want to call somebody badly, you can say like, this creature. No. But I was like, for example, I was introducing performance and I was saying like, this creative, magnetic, with the hypnotic look in her eyes, creating, it means creative. So a beautiful creature. And later on, she said with this anger to me, like, don't call me creature. And I was like, oh my God, because like, I don't want to, it was a very positive thing for me. And I didn't understand why she's like offended or something. But well, then you have to think that this person can have bad experiences from the past. Maybe she was shamed in some way. Maybe she was called creature with bad intentions. Maybe she was casted away from the society. Maybe she was not included. Maybe this kind of, I don't know, defense mechanism, you know, but she's an adult and she should have dealt with her emotions instead of putting it on me. And later on, she wrote like this on this group that I called her creature, but I already apologized during the show that, I'm sorry if you don't want to be named like this. For me, it was a very positive thing. And I have all the good thoughts. Even right now, even though she did that, I think she's a beautiful hypnotic creature again but she doesn't want to be named like this. So I would say being, artist, performer, whatever she wants to be called, with this huge potential. So she like shamed me for this. And also she shamed me for, there was this woman that, you know, during the burlesque, you can take somebody to the stage or you can interact and so on. And there was this woman, I was doing Marlene Dietrich. And Marlene, she was bisexual. So the part of the show is taking a girl to the stage, dancing with her, like in this kind of sexy manner, just like Marlene Dietrich would. And I kissed her right beside the lips to pretend like kissing, you know. And this girl started kissing me. So we ended up kissing. That's fine with me. But later on, because this girl was like, I don't know, maybe a friend of this performer, and maybe she felt a little bit shame because later on she wanted more. At the end of the show, I came to her and she wanted to go again, you know? She was very like, I don't know, very thrilled about it. And it was nothing non-consensual. Plus, you know, like she started kissing me, but, you know, that's, I can say like, oh, she didn't ask. No, we had this dialogue between each other and it was our thing. And later on, I heard that till now I hear I'm licking the audience. Yeah. And it's okay to put your ass in front of somebody's face and shake with it, or take somebody's face between boobs and like do like this, like, you know, like shaking. That's okay. But what I did, it's shameful. Especially it was like my thing with the adult person coming to a stage kissing me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard that because this girl maybe like felt ashamed, and she said like, I kissed her, and we both kissed each other. That's the truth, you know? That was the vibe. And I don't understand this kind of shaming between the performers. And later on, instead of saying like, hey, listen, maybe think about like, should you be doing that? And what was the situation? No, a lot of people, without hearing my story, they like judged me, they shamed me and so on. And like, that's surprising, but I know the truth and I will keep on doing what I want. So I don't get this kind of often, because now after doing my wicked fetish art theater, I mean, I have this kind of audience that knows what they're looking for. They know what they're coming to. Also, when they come to my burlesque shows, they know that it's never crossing the boundaries. It's always consensual consent, but it's not this kind of a polite burlesque. I can do a polite burlesque, no problem. I do it commercially abroad, classical, perfect, no touching anyone besides like putting a little bit feather on somebody, nothing more. You know, I can do that, but shaming performer for doing exactly what artists are supposed to do. We are here, artist creatures, to cross the boundaries of the social norms that been established long time ago and are no longer appropriate in 21st century, or were never appropriate. It was just to control the society, and we are showing it that you actually can be liberated. And liberation, by the definition, has no limits. So how can you try to limit liberated artists?
Natalie, you worked and you studied and you got deep into all the aspects of your work, and also psychology, psychosexuality, and that affected the development and the magic that you do nowadays. And you went from acquiring all that knowledge to also founding the Neoclassica Ballet School and teaching. What kind of dancers you want to shape?
You know what? Yeah, I did that. And it was going on for like 10 years, the Neoclassica Ballet Center and the kind of academy. And I was shaping dancers, very aware of their bodies and what they do and why they do it. They're very aware of different kind of forms of expressions, and most of all, aware of knowing that they can speak their minds. They can ask questions, because in ballet world, you're not allowed to. It's this famous because. Why? Because. I'm not doing it anymore because I believe what I did already is enough in this matter area. I have other projects going on. Now I do the Maestria Ballet and Body Lab, where I teach adults and some teenagers who want to like perfect their skills, and adults who just want to have like fun with the ballet. So I do like adult ballet academy, and we do like fun photo sessions and just doing it for our own, whatever they are, purposes. And from time to time, I teach somebody in this more professional way, but mostly I do workshops abroad, because here in Poland, everyone is experts. You know, I see people who I was teaching on an amateur level ballet. They are teaching others ballet. Like, I want to say, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? And again, I don't want to like shame anyone, because I guess if you want to do it, you can do it. But that's a lack of respect towards a real ballet dancers who went through a ballet school. And like, really, you think that you can teach ballet after not graduating from ballet school or any kind of academy and not going through this ballet training world? And it's just not professional, I say. But here in Poland, we have a land of experts. Everyone is an expert. Like a girl, for example, starting burlesque, and after 1 year and being no performer, no workshop behind her, no dance, no acting, nothing. And after 1 year teaching other people about burlesque and really not doing a good job, really, like she herself is not representing a level of professionalism or working on her costumes and hair and wigs to the point that it's like really perfect. And she's teaching burlesque. No dance skills, nothing. It's, I don't think that's right, you know? And maybe I'm this kind of person that I expect too much, but again, abroad, that's not happening. I teach abroad, and students are so humble, people are so humble, and they know that, for example, ballet is like more than 400 years old, and everybody entering ballet world and being there for a longer while in this ballet environment, oh, they must be really tough and disciplined, and they have achieved this kind of skills that it's amazing to learn from them, you know? And when I go abroad, people are like amazed and they wanna learn. And when I also like do like this psychological explanations of the, for example, hands movement, and that they're the extensions of your heart, of your mind, and you can express so much with your just with your arms, you know. And then later we have like improvisation, and I talk about the female power and so on, or male, it depends who is at the class. But then they cry and they don't want me to leave, and I have this like, what the fuck is happening? Like, here in Poland I'm shamed, and like they call me the worst names, you know, or they say like Satan washes my feet. I always say then, well, it must be very powerful if Satan washes my feet, right? But it's very difficult to fight it all the time, you know, abroad, especially in Italy, but anywhere I go, I'm totally different person because people treat me in totally different way and with the respect, you know, like with towards my knowledge, towards the years of experience and what I did for the fetish scene apparently around the world, because they know me. And here in Poland, they shame me. And I paved this like way for others as well, because I go to international burlesque festivals, and I decided like this: oh, I can do a perfect classical act. Of course I can. But that's not fun. To copy and to follow. And I decided to connect burlesque with the psychological knowledge, with the fetish and so on. And I decided to go with this. And suddenly I'm winning all the festivals, like festival after festival. I'm amazed because I didn't know that I can be so appreciated. And not even a month ago, I went to Zamora in Rome, one of the 3 biggest international burlesque festivals in Europe. And well, the organizer have chosen the heaviest act I have, Dark Empath, about being Baroque, about being love at the first. then having your heart broken, being used and abused, and then growing into this, going through the mourning, like, you need to grieve when your heart is broken. So going like dark, and then growing into a dark empath with a bigger heart before you had, but just not for everyone anymore, And that was like, when she chose that, I was like, yeah, bye-bye any kind of possibility of winning. Like, yeah, it will be a fun thing to show. Yeah, I'm very excited to share my art every time. But I was like, yeah, that's it. That they will say, because I knew who the judges are, and they were very classical burlesque judges, and I know them. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was happy to share my art, and I was all my performance. I was like in this BDSM mask, but with the crystals and so on. And I didn't show my face. It was like dark, heavy. People cried, nobody cheered at the end because it was too heavy. And I win. And I won. I won the Queen of Hearts. And I was like, literally, I was standing there among like 20-something performers. And I was like correcting my costume because it was like sliding down a little bit. They were already like naming the winners. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like correcting my blouse, my this. And then they say, and the Queen of Hearts, and the winner of the Queen of Hearts, the crown, goes to Natalie Zonenshine. And I correct. And I'm like, literally, I go like, and there, somebody recorded my reaction. And it's like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Like, what? Who? And they started pushing me, and I was like, what? Who? Me? Like, but I was literally, I wasn't pretending. I was like, I didn't expect. And then later on, especially women came to me, and they were like, I didn't know. They told me. Because my life, I'm beautiful all the time. I get a lot of non-consent kind of comments, and I'm being abused, harassed, and raped. I was raped. So I'm getting a lot of this, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, this, oh my God. I don't see this like that, but apparently there is something vibing in me that is very appealing to men. And ever since I was a little kid, I was treated without respecting my physical boundaries. And all the time I was this beautiful. And I didn't think about it like that, but I covered my face for all the show, and I was this weird creature during this performance. I literally, it was like no hair, no face, no nothing. It was like weird. And women came to me, like 3 in a row. And they said like, and you winning, not with your face, not showing your beautiful face. That was something, just with your expression. I didn't see it this way. People tell me. So art is also dialogue between me and the audience, how they see it. I didn't design it like this, like, oh, I was thinking, I will cover my face for a statement to not show my beautiful face and not to win with the face. No, I didn't think about it. I was just being dark. I wanted to be as dark as possible. That was my thought. And then they showed me how they see it, and it's amazing. And I didn't expect to win in the burlesque world with it. And it just makes me feel like, then they say like, your art is amazing. You are so different. In a burlesque world, I'm different. Everyone is different. Everyone is different. There is no better, worse, different. There's different. But apparently they see it as something different and different. That I show this heart. That I'm not bearing my body, I'm bearing my soul. And they see it. apparently they see it. And then, like people in Poland, some, they see it. But we have an educated audience that their emotions has been killed and suppressed, and they're shamed for expressing. And that's why maybe they're not, when they see it, they have mixed feelings. They want to shame it, but they love it at the same time. I have this kind of feeling that it's a love-hate relationship in them, because it has nothing to do with me. It's everything within the eyes of the beholder, right? It has nothing to do with me because I'm just there. You like it, you don't. I don't care. I will be doing my own thing. Of course, I love it when you love it. I feel appreciated and it touches my heart. But when you hate it, I will make you hate. I will make you hate me even more for doing even better. That's my character.
Natalie, if someone wants to feel more comfortable with their body, where should they start?
Therapy. Yeah. If they already admitted that there is like something, feeling like something is off, therapy, that's the first thing. Talking about it to somebody and so on. And trying to break certain patterns in head, because it's all in your head, And I think going to a burlesque class, it's a cool kind of thing, like seeing many different types of people with different types of bodies doing it. Going to a burlesque show, seeing different, I don't want, because I'm against calling anybody any size. That's why I'm not going, I know that there are people calling size plus or size that or size this. Different sizes, just different sizes, and seeing different types of skin, different types of expression and so on. That can be very liberating. So that's a good direction. But without a good therapy, it can go wrong. Because I've seen a lot of people in burlesque trying to heal themselves with burlesque and becoming very passive-aggressive people, taking it in an aggressive way, claiming their space, I have the right to be here. Well, take it easy. Yes, you do. You don't have to shout it out like this and be aggressive about it. You just have right to be here. Everyone has a right to be here, okay? So just, work on your communication and expression and just don't be aggressive about it. But I see a lot of aggression in Poland about claiming space, and I know where it's coming from. I understand, because when you're being oppressed, repressed, shamed for such a long time, just like a transsexual, gender-different people, atypical even, or gays, or, of course, lesbians as well, or a little bit unstandard with anything, then you grow as a coping mechanism, as a defense mechanism, you grow aggression. It's a natural anger and aggressive behavior. It's a natural coping mechanism. So I know where it's coming from, but you should not do that. And I know I'm using word should, I'm sorry. But maybe, I will rephrase it. Maybe for these people who have this strong need of expressing their space and claiming their space, maybe I would suggest to work on this feeling in you that you have the right to be here. That's it. You don't need to prove anything, because whomever wants to take it away from you, they are wrong. And also, there is something very forceful in being very peaceful about it. If somebody shames you or is aggressive towards you, doesn't want to understand you, is making a mockery out of you or something, respond with power. And the biggest, the most powerful power, it's peace. Being peaceful. Saying like, okay, I respect their opinion. You don't have to say it in this way, but they respect it. You can think whatever you want, just why you have such a need to express anger towards me or shaming me. And usually this kind of peaceful reaction really works. That's me all the time. I go like, oh, okay. Yeah. I prefer to use my energy into rhinestoning my costumes or doing something else good for me. I don't want to spend my energy into being angry. I love even my enemies, It doesn't mean I agree with them, but I know where it's coming from, this kind of anger, so I've been there, I've done that. So I completely have full understanding, and I have forgiveness for all of them, for any kind of thing. And if they're offended by me saying I forgive them, then that's on them already, because I said today to myself, in this life, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, there will be haters, lovers, and those who don't give a fuck. The lovers will love you, not no matter what, up to the point that you will not do something that they will hate, and they will become your haters. And the haters will hate you no matter what. You will do this, which is a very good thing, they will hate you. They will find arguments against you. They will not want to hear your story, but that's on them, right? It only shows their hearts. So my suggestion is peacefully, calmly, with love towards yourself, do whatever you want, and just at everyone around, just smile. And I know it's difficult, but this is what therapy is for, to create tools that you really will not give a fuck. And you will just smile and have this love in your heart, no matter the hate around you. This is what I have. I don't pity them. I don't agree with them, but I still love them because they are human beings, and we all have right to be here, and we all deserve to be here, and we can be around each other and actually support. How about that?
If someone would follow you for a whole day, what would they be more surprised about?
That I'm so not what they think I am. I am, I'm this autistic person. I've created all this Natalie Zonenshine, social creature that, is an organizer, producer, artist, performer, and so on, badass, And that's what I am as well, This is how I want to present myself. But behind closed door, I have 2 cats, and I love watching movies, and I love to drink hot chocolate, and I go sleep at 4 a.m. and I wake up at noon. Today I had to wake up earlier, and it was a nightmare for me. And I'm this little, I call myself little pile of love. I'm like this, I'm so cute, and I'm so soft and like a baby. I'm like a kid. That's why, because I have this vulnerability of the kid, I needed to create, and I was abused. My innocence was used, abused, and plus I was raped. That teaches a lot. And that made me first to be angry and aggressive. Just like I said, that's why I know where these things are coming from. But then I created this persona, and I went through a lot of therapies, as I said. Yeah, I'm repeating myself, but that's important kind of thing, the therapy. And I stopped also, like during the therapy, I stopped drinking alcohol, which was suppressing my feelings and everything. And that I was trying, numb myself. Now I don't anymore. I regulated my emotions and I created this persona, which I like. I like everything about her. And only the chosen ones can know my real self, But to be honest, I show my real self all the time. Just people have different regarding of me, and they have projected onto me all the negative, because I'm like this, professional badass ballerina doing my own shit no matter what. And I don't know why they hate me for this, because they do exactly the same, just maybe they're not that successful in that. Because I collaborate with these people, and they like me for years. And then now I start new collaboration, and I already heard how they hate that. The level of the shame was so big that I was with my team, with my Wicked Theater team, another team, we were laughing about what they were saying. I was like this meme suddenly, looking at the gossips that they invented, and I was like how they have the energy to make up these things, they're so extraordinary things that they say about me, that it's wow, I don't have this level of the fantasy in me, that's amazing. Congratulations. Use it somewhere else into creating something, into going to a therapy, maybe use this energy. But yeah, every day I'm little girl. I'm just little girl looking for love.
Natalie, if you could create your show with unlimited budget, something to just shake Warsaw up.
Oh my God.
What would that show look like?
Amazing. It would be like the Tuxedo Society. And I saw also this kind of, because they don't have they have unlimited budgets in Russia for art. And I saw this amazing show where they brought the huge 12 Fabergé eggs. I'm just saying what they did, because I want to show the scale of what I'm seeing around the world and what I'm feeding myself with. And with the unlimitless budget, this is what I would go for. So I saw this 12 Fabergé eggs, the size of 2 meters. And they were opening, and inside there was dancing waltz couples, this kind of things. So with limitless budget, I would collect all the artists that are the best in what they do in Poland. The best acrobats, the best pole dancers, the best ballerinas, the best burlesque, the best singers, the best. And I would do this magnificent kind of Cirque du Soleil kind of show, but with that would shake people to the core with the psychological depth. They wouldn't be able to stand up from the chairs, not because of the visual effects, but because of the journey they went through inside their heads, their souls, and their hearts. Yeah. But I would hire everyone who I'm thinking right now in my head, because I went already through the list. I have it in my head. I was thinking about it, but yeah. Hello, sponsors. Hi. Hello.
Let's make dreams come true.
I need a theater for few weeks of the rehearsals. Preferably, I will wake up earlier for this reason, and I will do rehearsals from 10 till 2. And yeah, I need a lot of money. I have this image in my head, not the Fabergé eggs, but I have something else going from the ceiling and from the like from the floor, from the sides, and laser effects and this and this and that. Yeah, it's there in my head, and it's not, and it's international level. So yeah, but yeah, well, let's dream. Yeah,
Of course, absolutely. Let's manifest something
Of
amazing,
course.
something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was never seen before. Let's shake things up.
I was trying to contact. There's this Aerochain Expo, like this. These people have a lot of money, and they are doing like this erotic industry fair in Warsaw, and they always like rent out the expo space, and they build a big stage with a screen and so on. And I was telling them about this idea, but like, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe I should contact them now. Maybe.
This was Natalie Zonenshine for you. This, my goodness, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say that I haven't asked or something? How do people follow you? How do people find you?
Well, yeah, I have like 26 accounts on Instagram, but Natalie underline Zonenshine is like the thing, the one. So just follow me on Instagram. Feel free to contact me. Just please don't ask me like erotic questions. Like, really have like self-dignity, and unless it's like how to deal with certain things. But don't ask me, am I going to suck or lick anything? Please don't do that. But ask any other questions, how to like start burlesque, how to maybe learn ballet and so on. I also give free burlesque classes every Wednesday and Friday, because I decided in my life that burlesque is this beautiful, magical thing that I treat as my advanced hobby, no matter how professional I treat it. I want to keep it open for everyone, so I do free classes. And of course, they're, English friendly. And if you're English speaking, then you're also welcome. You can contact me to learn burlesque for free.
That's incredible, Natalie. I'm so thrilled. It's a pleasure for me. I identify with your story. Just a different background. I think we're all performing artists. For the people listening, I hope you are as inspired as I am, and I'm very thankful for this conversation.
Oh, I'm just I really appreciate the invitation. It came as a huge surprise. That's the thing. You never know what's waiting around the corner. You contacted me yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yes.
And it was like a wow thing. Like I was like, oh, OMG, that's so nice.
Thank you so much. I'm a fan. I am an admirer, and it's a sort. I think what you do is a source of inspiration for a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
So congratulations on that. Keep on going strong. I was nervous for. I think and the loveliest, most professional, inspiring person came to the studio. Thank you so much again.
It's like I have this. I heard that the tennis game is from one movie, that this one tennis player said, like, for this 90 minutes or 2 hours when two people play, it's like making love, it's like a romance. So I felt that like I felt very secure. Thank you for that. It was very deep, so intimate as well. And it was very, lovely, which is like my idea behind like making love and romance. So thank you for that.
A pleasure. Have a wonderful day. For the listeners, this was it. This is Miguel on the radio, the 11th of March. And I'll leave you with a song that Natalie chose.
Yeah, I chose that.
And we wish you all a great week.
Yes.
All the best. Magic, inspiration, passion, love. Keep on going strong.
Have yourselves a great lives.
Yeah, there you go.